We're going to talk about connection today, and the title of my talk is Building Bridges Through Better Business, so creating better connections with people by transforming our business models. But before I go into it, I'd like to share a little bit about my personal journey. So I graduated as a lawyer, over 20 years ago. And I started my career just like most other young lawyers, I would say. So I joined a law firm, and I thought that my job would be going to court, representing clients, advising people, and that kind of thing. You know, just being a normal, regular lawyer. But life had other plans for me. So I got pregnant just as I started working. And at the time, there were no such things as teleworking and working from home or reduced hours. It was like either you're here till midnight or get out. So I had to rethink, obviously, what I wanted to do and how I was going to do it. So I took the only part-time legal job that came around, basically. And that was with a government agency, which I never thought of really joining the government, but it took my career to a completely different direction. I started working in equality and human rights. I never thought you could make a living out of working in that area, and it opened my mind to a completely different dimension. I quickly got very frustrated working in the public administration. If any of you have ever worked in government, you know things are very slow and there's a lot of bureaucracy. So I thought, okay, I know, to connect with more people and have a better impact, I'll move into the non-profit sector, because then I'll be free, there's no bureaucracy, and we can reach out to so many more people. Fast forward 9 years, I got super burnt out, because the reality is that despite the best of intentions, NGOs have many limitations, they don't have access to enough resources, and so the impact that you can have there is limited as well. So, to cut a very long story short, I went full circle, and I finally understood that to create change and have an impact and connect with people in the best way, you really need to work with business, because that's where the action really happens, no? So, today we're here to talk about connection. And being a bit of a nerd, I looked up the definition of connection. And this is what I found. So it's when two or more people interact with each other and each person feels valued, seen, and heard. And I would argue that possibly we are the most connected society in the history of humankind. No, we connect with so many people, hundreds if not thousands, through our social media at the click of a button. We can talk to people on the other side of the planet within seconds. But really and truly, are we feeling seen and heard? The connections that we're having through social media, through technology, are we really feeling connected or disconnected? And I think it's a bit of a rhetorical question. We all know the answers to that, no? And this is something that is also translating into the political sphere, not just locally, but globally. There is this sense that politicians no longer appeal to people. So politicians no longer make people feel heard and seen. You know, people can see it through the bullshit, so to speak, which is a problem really, because we have some urgent problems, serious problems that we're already late in addressing. You know, climate change being one of them. We really need to do something about it. There's the issue of income inequality as well, and so many other social problems that need to be addressed. And so the question is, can business do something about these problems? Can business do something to reduce emissions and so slow down the negative impacts of climate change? Can business make sure that people can make ends meet at the end of the month? You know, they can pay their bills, they can buy food for their family. I think, again, we know the answer to that. We can, but again, are we ready? Are we all ready to start making a little bit of a compromise? Because there is a void, there is an empty space, there's a need for connection, there's a need for leadership, and somebody needs to pick up the baton. and take it forward. When it comes to business leaders, when I say business leaders, it's not that business owners or CEOs, but it could be someone who has a key role in a business, no? Unfortunately, what I notice is that many of them still have a kind of fixation with the bottom line, with profitability, and you don't really blame them, no? Because that's how society measures their success, no? So if you're a business leader, you're expected to make a big profit, and you're expected to be able to buy certain things and make yourself seen and heard and valued. So sometimes I wonder whether it's a question of buying versus being. So as business leaders, are we putting too much importance on the things that we own rather than what we stand for? So I'd like to make some suggestions. First of all, I think we need to stop obsessing about numbers. Okay, numbers are important. If we're in business, we need to still obviously make sure we're financially sustainable, but we need to also start measuring other things. Social impact, for example, how many people we impact positively through our work, through our interactions. There are other things that we can measure to measure success. Secondly, listening. I'm a bit guilty of this. I think we're all so busy. God knows how many times my children want to talk to me or my colleagues want to talk to me, and I'm there, I'm hearing them, but I'm not really listening. So we really need to make that extra effort to actively listen to people and rebuild our connection with them. Working together, I think it's really important that we all share a piece of the turf that we're on. You know, we need to stop being so possessive and be more open to working together. I think by working together, we can truly build better connections and have better outcomes. And last but not least, let's use our voice. I think we're all a little bit guilty of this. I think very often we close an eye to things that are going on. We know that they're not right, but we don't speak up because, you know, that person won't work with us, or I don't get that contract, or I will lose that friend. But I think it's time that we really start using our voice. Business has a very powerful voice, if we decide to use it, to start really putting a stop to certain things and calling out what's wrong and pushing forward what's right. So that's it from me. Thank you very much, and I look forward to the rest of the discussion.